Hi there, welcome to the Illuminates Network. We are in Johannesburg in the EmpowaMen Summit 2024. It's so exciting to be here. There's just so much vibe and energy, and I'm seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time. And I'd like to introduce Martin next to me right now. Martin, good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Illuminates Network.
Yes.
I was talking to you inside, and I'm so fascinated about the work you do, particularly your topic today. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
So today I'm talking about male abuse.
Male abuse.
It's kind of very broad, but I'm kind of, weirdly enough, I specialize in this field.
This is great. But what about men abuse you think is relevant for a conference like this?
Well, society kind of looks at things from one perspective, right? Men are the perpetrators, men are the violent people. We're always beating up our women, and or raping them or whatever the case may be. And women are always the victims. But we never look at the aspect of men can have been victims, right? So my favorite saying is I've never met a 5-year-old boy who wants to grow up to be a rapist or a wife beater.
It's not an intention,
They usually have good intentions. They usually want to grow up to be doctors and lawyers and teachers and all that sort of thing. So what happens between that 5-year-old boy with the great intentions? What changes? And it's generally abuse. It's neglect. It's emotional. It's poverty. There's so much in this country that we need to deal with that we're not looking at. And then we go, and when these boys grow up to be dysfunctional adults, we go, men are trash. You're bad. Men are toxic, and
this is quite interesting. What inspired you to start a network like this, and what kind of support you get? And I really would like you to get closer to our network as well, because we talk a lot about vulnerability or men vulnerability and men opening up. What pushed you in this? Have you got a story of your own?
Yes.
That you can summarize?
Summarize. How do you summarize? I was a victim of sexual abuse and rape from the age of 5 to 19.
Wow.
And everybody goes, it must have been men or whatever. No, it wasn't. It was men and women.
And women.
Yeah, so we kind of don't see that. A woman performing oral sex on you when you're 5 years old, it's just not cool.
That's crazy.
And as men, we grow up with this construct that we can't be victims. So I never saw myself as a victim, and I didn't understand why my life was such a mess. And I turned to alcohol to cope. So I started drinking rather heavily when I was 13 years old, binge drinking. By the time I was in my 20s, I was a full-blown alcoholic. 4 or 5 suicide attempts throughout my life. So it's a mess. And when I finally discovered why my life was such a mess, it was because I heard other men talking about and telling their stories.
Oh, you had other people telling their stories.
So in fact, it was Tyler Perry on the Oprah Winfrey show that
you
started.
were mentioning that.
I kind of started dealing with all those issues, and then I decided I got to tell my story to give other men permission to start their healing journey.
Thank you, Martin. This is a beautiful story, and it's quite interesting. How do people access you and your information and get help from a network that you're on?
So I run an organization called MatrixMen, which I founded in 2011. So if you go on social media, LinkedIn, I'm an old guy.
MatrixMen,
MatrixMen. I'm an old guy. It's one word, right?
One word.
MatrixMen.
Yeah.
So it's on LinkedIn, Twitter, what are the other ones? Facebook. Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, and I really encourage. In fact, we were talking earlier in the speaker lounge that we're going to invite you to season 4 of the Illuminates Network, because this topic of abuse of men and the rights of men and for men to open up is becoming very, very topical. It's a big one, and I'm glad that you've extended a hand to become available.
I mean, you look at abuse and how it plays into fathers. I'm busy counseling a guy right now. He says, never wanted to be a father. Why? Because I didn't want to turn out to be like my father.
To be like my dad. The vicious cycle.
The vicious cycle. And it's like going to, but you're not your dad. And as much as you think
you can start your own story. You can write your own story and be something else.
And you're never too old, eh? That's the cool thing.
You're never too old.
Never too old. My oldest client is 70.
70.
Completely transformed his life.
Still navigating this fatherhood thing.
Yes, and the sexual abuse that he suffered as a child.
What do you say, lastly before you go, Martin, what do you say about networks like these and forums like these to educate women to play their part as well, to basically get men to get closer to parenting properly?
we need to build strong male networks and strong men, because in these safe spaces we can begin to heal. And when men heal, then women will have no choice but to follow.
They will slowly get involved.
Yeah, and they'll start. But the funny thing is that most people that refer me to my organization are the wives. That's who I talk to. I talk to wives.
Then
please, doing this,
and then they refer them.
Then they say, hey, maybe you should go and talk to this guy. So they are getting involved. They do want us to be better. They do want us to
There's that
work
intention.
on our issues. There's that intention is there. Of course, you marry somebody, you love them. You know what I mean? You're not going to
So they do want to help, which is a very good thing. Martin, thank you so much for your time.
It's all about education, brother.
I look forward to listening to your talk.
And yours.
We're going to have many more talks before.
Cool.
After
Can
this.
we hug?
Yeah, allowed.